pour yourself a nice cup of coffee, get something fat rolled up, because we're about to talk the draft and fantasy football right after this. Welcome back, everybody, and it's that time, and I couldn't be happier. It's fantasy football season. Thank you guys for joining me on another one. We're going to bust through this draft as quick as possible. We're going to smoke this fat-ass king palm here, 2 grams packed, ready to go, and man, we are going to talk about some of the best players at the positions you need to be drafting this year. And let's get started right with the quarterback position, right after we get ready and toke on this mofo. Coffee, chronic, and football. It's just amazing. So it's QB time. And first up, we're going to talk about the guy you need on your team. And it's not Lamar Jackson this year, it's Patty Mahomes. Why? It's fucking Patrick Mahomes, guys. He's got that big contract. He's ready to throw the ball downfield. Oh, and remember towards the end of the season when he was running everywhere? He's going to do a lot more of that this season. So trust me when I tell you, Pat Mahomes is going to have even more value than he did last year. So target him early and often in all your drafts. But there is someone else that was coming on strong at the end of the season, and again, they built around him, and that is Kyler Murray. Guys, he's got D-Hop. He's got some super rookies. He's got a great running back. He's got a tight end now. He's got a team. He's going to throw the ball. He's going to run. And last year, it was amazing to see what he could do towards the end of the season when they put the gloves off. Trust me when I tell you, Kyler Murray is going to go above what he did last year. You're going to be able to pull him at about the 5th or 6th round, which is nice for a QB of his stance, because next year he's probably going to be around the 4th or 3rd round. So check him early and often. And if you miss out on those 2 quarterbacks, don't worry. Joe Burrow is going to be there for a while. Maybe even in the 11th round. Trust me when I tell you, Joe Burrow is going to throw everywhere. You saw him at LSU. The guy's a fucking arm, dude. He's going to throw for 300 a game. He's going to give you 3 touchdowns. So draft that guy 11th, 12th, 13th round when nobody's looking, when they're looking at maybe a Cam Newton or a Josh Allen. Go get yourself a Joe Burrow. Trust me, towards the end of the season when they take the gloves off him and you're making that playoff run, he's going to put you in that spot to win your championship. Now, everybody is high on Tom Brady, and that's okay. Go get yourself a Tom Brady in the 8th round. He's going to do pretty good for you this year. What I would suggest is stay away from Cam Newton. He is untrusted there. We don't know what he's going to do. He is injury prone. He might be good for the first 3 weeks, but after that, you're going to probably be looking for another QB, unfortunately. Now we're through with the QBs. Let's go into those running backs because there is so much depth there this year. And let's talk about Derrick Henry. He's a fucking beast. If you had him on your team last year, he was solid as fuck. I had him on mine, and I'm going to have him as much as possible this year. They know what they need to do to win. They know Derrick Henry is that guy. He's a beast. He's going to give you 150 to 200 yards. He's going to give you 20 to 25 carries. This is his floor. And that's an incredible floor to have for a running back. So go get him in the 1st round. I know there's other guys out there like Christian McCaffrey, who's going to be picked number 1 overall. You could slip past the Alvin Kamara and grab yourself in the 2nd round a Josh Jacobs. Remember what Josh did last year. Josh Jacobs handled the fucking rock, bro. When he was healthy on the field, he wanted the ball 20 to 25 times a game. He's going to catch more balls out of the backfield this year, which is great. So you're going to add that on that running that he had last year as a rookie. I really think in the 2nd, maybe 3rd round, if you can get him in the 2nd round, get him. If he's still sitting there in the 3rd, that's going to be surprising. Take his ass. And another one that's going to be sitting around him is Kenyon Drake. And I fucking love Drake. We talked about Kyler Murray, we talked about that offense, and we know it's going to be high flying. Drake towards the end of the year was one of the best ads in all of fantasy football and will continue to do so. They know what they have in the guy, and he's very impressive. So consistently look at him at the 2nd round. Some people are trying to sneak him in the 1st, which is okay. He might be a top 10 RB this year, but really slide him into the 2nd, find him as your RB2, get a Derrick Henry and Kenyon Drake, and I promise you that's going to be a nice solid fucking 2 to have. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, any of that combination is really going to solidify your 2 running back positions. But if you miss out, there's a Zach Moss coming in around 6 or 7. And Zach Moss, towards the end of the year at Buffalo, is going to be a beast. They love him. He's all talent. And they really don't have anything there that really is going to surpass him. So the first 3 games, they're going to be juggling shit around. And Zach Moss is going to come out of nowhere. He's going to be one of the biggest free agent ads if nobody drafts him, which will be shocking. And I really think you should have him stashed in your line. Maybe grab him in the 5th round, sneak him a little early, because he is going to give you some great value later in that season. Now to those high-flying wide receivers. Now, wide receivers are really deep this year, but unfortunately, top talent is not. Guys like DeAndre Hopkins are really rare these days. So you're going to want to have to sneak him. If you're picking late in the first round, go get a D-Hop, maybe pick 8, 9, because you're going to really need that big wide receiver to put up those numbers for you towards the end of the season. And again, pairing him with a Kyler Murray. So if you go DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, I like that. I think that's going to be a nice combo like D-Hop and Deshaun Watson was. I think that's going to be very nice for people this year. Go get yourself D-Hop round 1. He's going to be there. Get yourself that nice wide receiver. And if you miss out, don't worry. DK Metcalf is going to be around round 3, where you could get yourself that elite top tier wide receiver and not have to worry about losing your first 2 picks. If you go Henry, Drake, DK Metcalf, you just solidified a nice little 3 core for yourself. And then sneak into the 4th round with a tight end, which we'll talk about in a second. You just got yourself a great base. You could get yourself a Kyler Murray in round 5, and that is a fucking solid team right there to go around. Get a nice wide receiver like a Henry Ruggs or a Justin Jefferson late, right? And solidify that second wide receiver spot, who I like both. And I like Justin Jefferson in Minnesota next to Thielen. There's a lot of balls to be thrown there. So I do think that he's going to get a lot of the slot looks, which is going to be a nice add again later in the season. So look at him and look at Ruggs late. And that's a nice wide receiver core you guys are building around yourself. And then come the tight ends. And there are some solid tight ends that you need to be looking at this year. First off, the people's champ, George fucking Kittle. Look, he's the most entertaining guy in football, I think, in my opinion. I'm a 49ers fan. I think George Kittle is going to surpass Travis Kelce this year as the number 1 tight end. Even though Kelce has been there for the last 4 years, I feel a little regression. You have a great running back there. You have a couple good wide receivers. Travis Kelce is going to be good. He's going to be the number 2 tight end this year. But look out for George Kittle. He is going to run that offense this year. They know what they have in George Kittle. So look at him. If you can't get Kittle, obviously go get yourself Travis Kelce. And if you can't get Travis Kelce, go get yourself Zach Ertz. Those are the top 3 tight ends. They're all around in football. And if you can't get those top 3 tight ends, guess who you're going to be looking at late? Hayden Hurst? What? Hayden Hurst is going to be the breakout star this year in the tight end position. Expect Hayden to have a really great season. And another great tight end you could look to late, Jonnu Smith. Remember Jonnu Smith at the end of last year? Dude, again, a guy that if he can stay healthy is a solid ball handler. They're going to look to him a lot often. He's a solid check down guy. Consider him about 5 to 6 catches a game, maybe 80 yards and a touch. That's a solid place to be for a tight end. So look at Jonnu Smith very late, maybe in the 8th round or something like that. And if you can't get Jonnu, go real late. Get yourself fucking Blake Jarwin in Dallas. Why Blake Jarwin? It's Dallas. Blake Jarwin, again, another one of those guys, was winning people's fantasies at the end of the year. He was putting up 10 to 20 points consistently. He's a good end zone guy, and I really think that this year they're going to start using him because, again, they know what they have in this guy. Great hands, big, strong, can catch the ball, great entry target. So look for Blake Jarwin round 10, 11. That is a nice tight end to fucking have there. And again, all season long, we're going to be dipping into the tight end pool because there's always going to be some others to have. Don't forget about OJ Howard. I mean, come on, there's some great tight ends out there that this year that you're really going to get your hands on and be solidifying your team with. But to round out the draft, we have to talk defenses, right? Now, there's one defense I really want to talk about, and that's the Green Bay Packers. The last few games of the season, they were the number 1 defense. It's amazing to say, but Green Bay didn't lose anything. They added pieces to that defense. I'm really going to be watching them very closely this year to see how far they go with that defense, because remember, Aaron Rodgers wasn't winning all those games towards the end of the season. It was that defense and the running game, of course, that was keeping teams off the field, but that defense was ridiculous. So look at Green Bay Packers. I really think they're going to be a great pick that people are going to be just moving past because they don't see the numbers there because they were late in the season. They're going to be looking at KC. They're going to be looking at New England, of course, Baltimore, the heavy 3. So slip past those guys and get yourself Green Bay as late as possible. And now the King Palm is finishing, and that means the draft is ending up. So that was a good little rundown, very quick, bullet points of what you need. Comment down below and let me know some of those picks that you're going to be looking at in certain rounds. We could keep the conversation going. There's so much to go through. But again, I don't want to sit here for an hour and bore you guys with every single pick and every single round. We just obviously highlighted a few of the picks. Again, there's so many more to go through. A lot of the rookies out there like Joe Burrow, Zach Moss, Justin Jefferson, Henry Ruggs. I mean, there's so many great rookies out there that you're going to be able to get your hands on. And don't forget Clyde Edwards, dude. Come on now. So good luck out there in your draft. I hope you guys kick ass. And before we get out of here, we're going to take a dab as this finishes up. to celebrate the start of that football season. So here we have some Skittles from Zen as Fuck Carts. This is a dab dart, and this is gonna wreck our faces. Now, as we load this up, I wanna wish you all good luck on the season. I hope you guys take home the trophy. I didn't take home any last year, but we're gonna be shooting for the stars this season, and hopefully we're gonna bring home another one of those trophies. I hope you guys are all loaded up with your dab. Let's get on out of here, take a sip of that coffee. And I wanna say, keep doing what you're doing for the community. Stay beautiful, fucking vote, and most importantly, stay lit.